Hey, everybody, it's July the 1st, and we have a special treat today for our Sunday night Zoom chat. My sweet friend Lisa Banter is going to be sharing with us tonight, and she is the person who introduced me to essential oils and to the doTERRA line of oils and the doTERRA business opportunity. So she is my mentor, she is my friend, my buddy, my pal. We love to travel together. We just have a great time together. And I know that Lisa is passionate about Healing Hands, the doTERRA Healing Hands Foundation. So I'm going to let her tell us a little bit about it. And then I'm going to go ahead and mute myself, Lisa, and then I can jump back in at whatever point too. So here goes.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me? Great, great. So thank you so much, Elaine. I told the ones before you got here that I'm getting ready to go to bed here in a little bit. I'm a early to bedder, and so that's why I don't get to join you, but I'm so excited to get to join y'all tonight. Healing Hands is one of my passions, and I know that those I see faces on here right now, you too have fallen in love with what our company does. Giving back. You know, we have OUR for Underground Railroad. That's a way for children to get out of sex trafficking. doTERRA works with people who are building wells, drilling wells. We have schools that we can send children to school. We build them schools. We give back in such a big, big, big way. Now, let me just tell you a little and be just really raw and blank and open with you. And that is the fact that I've always given to Healing Hands, but I've never taken it to the degree that I have lately. And I'm not talking about donating thousands of dollars personally. I'm just talking about the investment that I see, and I see the big picture. And that happened one night, a couple of months after we started thinking about these rings. I mean, I started thinking about the rings and thinking, oh, what could we do with that? And then Linda Schneider just put it to words one time when we were all together. Then she starts handing out these rings, and we were going to call Ring Craze. And so from there, this turned into a passion. I laid in bed awake 2 or 3 nights until I kind of got my bearings about what I wanted to do. And then I said, Linda, since you were there when I was thinking about it to begin with, and you said what you said, and I laid around thinking about that, I need you. So I'd bounce ideas off of her all the time, and we came out with the Healing Hands. Do you have your ring? Y'all got your rings on? Now, I see those beautiful rings. Stan, can you wear one on your pinky? He's smiling,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great. So I've seen some men and some women wearing their rings, and so I'm really, really thankful that y'all are doing this. Elaine, ask us some questions. I'm not exactly sure where you want me to go.
Okay, well, I think that a lot of people really don't. I mean, I want to talk about the rings, but I want to talk about that later in the call because I think there's a lot of people who use doTERRA products that really don't understand the giving arm of doTERRA. And so if you can tell them anything that you know about it, like how it's funded, how money is raised, and you mentioned some of the projects that the Healing Hands money goes to, but can you speak to more about how money is raised and then what doTERRA does with that money?
I can give you, I am more of the project, knowing what the projects have gone for. And if you go to, which Linda has set up a lot of those things, and she can talk to that in just a bit if we have the time. But if you go to your back office and you look at caring, you can see the many, many different projects. And some of the projects are driven, the giving is driven by a certain team or a certain effort to to place dogs, and we have one here in Florida that look for discs for pornography, to get that off of the street. So I really can't talk to how the money is actually channeled into the different directions that it goes in. I've just started talking to Healing Hands Foundation myself, so I'm learning more about that all the time.
Okay, well, I'll jump in on a couple of things that I know. One of there are three, as far as I know, there's three major ways that doTERRA raises money for the Healing Hands Foundation. One is from the Rose Lotion. You can purchase Rose Lotion online for $20, and the entire $20 goes to the Healing Hand Foundation.
Right.
There's also the Hope Roller Bottle, and the
Mm.
Hope Roller Bottle is the same thing as the Rose Lotion. All the money that you spend purchasing that product goes directly to Healing Hands. And what I love about it is that doTERRA absorbs all of the administrative expenses for the Healing Hands Foundation. So the money that we give goes to an actual project. It's not absorbed into running the office and paying an executive
Right.
and all of those type of things, which are all fine and good, and many charities have to have that money to do that. But doTERRA finances that part of it, so that the money that we give, and the third way is on our checking it, and when we order every month, if we check a box that we would like to give a $1 donation, or we can give more, or we can buy the kits, the little, I don't know, Lisa, do you remember what they call the little kits?
Emergency
hygiene.
Yeah.
Emergency hygiene.
The hygiene kit. Okay, yeah. You can purchase those directly in your back office too. And all of those will then, those are a relief kit that when there are disasters, they send them to areas. So there's a lot of ways that I know of, and if you correct me if I'm wrong, Lisa, but I believe a lot of the times the projects that they do with Healing Hands Foundation funds are done in places where we have relationships already, like co-impact sourcing, where like Nepal, when the earthquakes hit, they came right in and brought in temporary shelters. They did stuff for people that we're actually working with and sourcing oils from.
That is true.
Is that right?
Is definitely true.
Okay. I think personally for our organization, those of you that know Jennifer Gilman and Lenny Gilman and Tina Murphy, Tina and Jennifer actually went on a a Healing Hands trip, which is also tied into co-impact sourcing in Guatemala. And they worked with people in that area who help us with our cardamom sourcing, but they were doing humanitarian work. They went in, they did a Days for Girls project one day where they took reusable feminine hygiene kits and gave them to girls in a local area. They also went in and did they built stoves in houses, because a lot of the homes in these villages, they cook inside the house, but there's no ventilation. And so all the people had respiratory issues. So they went in and actually put stoves in, these little cinder block stoves that they built, and then they vented them to the outside of the house so that it could be a safer way for them to cook. They also, I believe on that particular trip, we're working on helping build like a school and a hospital. So there's things like that. Paula, if you can hear me, we can hear you.
Oh,
Can you please mute yourself? That's okay. Let me just see if I can mute everybody.
Oh,
Sorry, guys. If you need to chat, go ahead and unmute yourself. Let's see. But a great, exciting thing that we found out about, Lisa, is that Jennifer and Lenny this year, believe it's in November, are going to be joining another Healing Hands trip. And that is going to be a Healing Hands trip that is going to Kenya. In Kenya, doTERRA has I think, more than one distillery now, and they're sourcing some great oils, some of which we don't even know what they are yet, from that area. And so they are going to be able to join a group of wellness advocates or wholesale customers. Anybody associated with doTERRA can get on this trip. It's a lottery, like they had to put in and kind of win the ability to go on it. And because of that, they're going to get to do some projects in that area. Now, last year when Nancy and I went to one of the trips that we went on, the incentive trip, one whole day we got to do work with local children in, where were we? Was it Cozumel? Cancun? I can't remember where it was. Some exotic place. And sorry, guys. Low brain power this time of night. We got to work with children. We actually had a big party for them. We helped them go through these steps to get pieces to a backpack that we had fully furnished for them, put together for them. And the principal of their school said, you have to realize, he came and talked to, it was a couple people came and talked to us. And they said, what you have to realize is the children that are getting these backpacks have never had their own package of crayons, ever. So for what you are giving to them isn't just like to help them out. This is like a big, big deal to them. And so this year when Jennifer and Lenny went on the incentive trip, the project that they got to do was that they got to build artificial hands and arms, I think, to be shipped off for people who had lost a limb. So it is very diverse. One of my favorite parts is the Days for Girls, and I hope that you guys will look into that. But Lisa and Linda Schneider have put together this amazing idea of how we can earn and raise extra money for Healing Hands. And so I'd like the two of them, I'm going to mute myself. I'd like the two of them to speak to that and tell us how we can, besides those things that we already know about, how we can get involved to donate even more and make this, make it a fun fundraiser.
Okay, so Linda, you unmute yourself too, because we can talk together. But what I want to show you is this little, maybe silly ring can do such change in the world. 10 cents. Now, when the idea continued to just get worked out with Linda and I, we started trying to build it around 10 years, because this year is doTERRA's. We just celebrated 10 years of doTERRA. So Linda's so smart. She's trying to think of all these ways. Yes, you are. All these ways that we can make everything revolve around 10. So I had the 10 rings each month for 3 months, June, July, and August. And I wanted to do 25 cents each. Linda says, Lisa, I think if we do 10 cents, it would be better. I go, okay. She's right, because we can remember that really easy. So 10 rings at 10 cents, June, July, and August. It's not rocket science. That's $3. How many, Linda, wasn't that we heard that there was somewhere between 30 and 37,000 people at convention last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of did the math on that, what that could look like. And Linda talked to that just a little bit.
Well, like Lil was asking earlier, you do not have to go to convention to participate in this. We were just looking at how many people would be there. The only thing that the convention has to do with it is we are hoping and praying that we'll have receptacles out there for people to bring their rings there and dump them in there, because we have a project that we think is going to fly about reusing these, not reusing them, but recycling them for a great project, which fits right in with Healing Hands. So if that happens, it'll be great. The other thing is, for every ring that you have, we'd like you to donate 10 cents per ring. You can guesstimate. If you have a pile of rings and you just want to give, $10, that's fine. If you have 30 rings, that's only $3. We figure everybody can donate $3. And we now have a place to donate it. The money is not coming to us. It's going straight to Healing Hands. You can pass this on to friends and family because you don't even have to be logged in. It's not really in the back office where you have to be logged in. It's in the front office, I call it, at doterra.com. You just go directly there, the menu at the top, click on where it says caring, and then go down. You'll see Healing Hands there, and go down to make a donation. And that page there actually explains some of the things that they have their money going to. Right now they're collecting for Guatemala Volcano Relief Fund. They've got a few other projects listed there, but you'll see ours listed there. It says 10-year anniversary doTERRA ring. And when you click on that, it'll take you in and actually give you a choice whether you want to give by PayPal or you can give by credit card or debit card. So you can just send your money directly there. The rings are just a representation, but we're hoping to be able to collect those as well too. So whatever you can do, every little bit helps, and we're hoping that they'll do some recognition maybe at conference. If they don't, that's fine too. But somebody, when they get up there and talk about Healing Hands, I have a feeling if there's been a bunch of money come in because of the rings, they just might say something about it, and that's going to make us all feel good about helping out.
Right. So what I want to add to that is when Elaine talked about the two products that you could use, the rose lotion and the Hope, I've been carrying the Hope roller with me, so we don't get any PV for it. But put one on your order this month. If you don't already have one, get one and start sharing that Hope and just use that. I booked some classes already just by the ring. And, well, how do you do that? Well, that's another story. But if you just love people and you share, you're going to get some classes. When they hear about what we do, it's just fantastic. To get more information and to really see exactly, we've done a video and it's laid out. Please go to Do You Have Your doTERRA Ring? And most of you are already a part of that. But if you want to send people there, I changed that. You only have to answer one question. I'm asking, are you a wellness advocate or are you a wholesale customer, and what's your number? Because I want people in there that are already wholesale customers and wellness advocates. But as in the words of Peggy Smith, y'all use these things to get more business for yourself, because when we do well, the company does well. And won't this be great what can you give the 7 owners? What can I afford to give them? I can give them what their heart's desire is, and that's to give more back to Healing Hands. So, yes, we appreciate your listening to us, and this has just been fun.
Any questions?
I do. If we're not going to convention, and with the rings themselves,
Give them to somebody that's going.
and have them take them.
Yeah.
Yes, please,
Yeah.
Lil, that'd be great.
If they don't
I've got
mind.
several around 100 already.
That'd be
Awesome.
great.
That's
They're
awesome.
lightweight.
Mhm.
Yes, they are.
Oh, and Lil, by saying that too, that made me think of something. You don't have to physically buy, like if you go, Lisa, I'm going to have to take out a loan. I mean, Elaine and I haven't gone through every single ring in my house yet. I keep finding a bottle here and there. It needs attention. When you're talking about it, talk about it at your classes. And if you look on the site, Corey Campbell just set up the cutest glass, and she wrote on there what it is for. That's fantastic. Set it up at your class and ask people, what are those? Well, if they want to donate 10 cents and take a ring, I'd love it. I think it's okay if we don't have all the rings to take with us, if you
Right.
get the drift. This ring is just a symbol, and it is eternal. There are more and more and more ideas that I get with just continuing this circle, but I'm just so thankful. Tell everybody, this is not a Lisa Bantering Essentials thing. This is not a Team Voltage thing. This is a doTERRA family thing, and we've have a lot of different people that are giving to this. So give your, I said nickels and not, but give your dimes and your dollars, and let's raise a big lot of money for Healing Hands.
Lisa, thank you so much. And Linda, I appreciate you guys coming up with this idea and really encouraging us all to give more to Healing Hands. It is a charity that I'm very passionate about. I love the type of projects that they do and the type of organizations that they sponsor. My niece Emma is on the call, and when she was at my house, she not only did the DIYs that you guys saw last week, but she took the rings off my bottles, and it was over 90 of these rings.
Wow.
And so I not only have those that I'm going to contribute a dime of each to, but everybody that's on the call tonight, I'm going to add an extra $1 to my donation. So there's an extra $12. And you know what? It doesn't sound like a lot of money, but you know, there's so many of us that love these oils and use them. If everybody gives, as Lisa and Linda said, $3 to $5 to $10, it can be a huge amount of money that we are raising because of the awareness of these cute little rings that come off of our oil bottles. So make sure you go under caring and you do their contribution there. I see yours, Nancy. She got her rings going.
Yay!
So make sure that you do that. And if anybody doesn't understand where to go to do the contribution, you can rewatch this video. I am recording this, or you can contact Linda or Lisa, and they would be glad to walk you through how to make that contribution.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, guys. Anybody else have anything to share before we stop tonight? I'm just picturing a big old vat of rings at convention,
us too.
at the Healing Hands table.
Us too. It's just been a blessing to even have Healing Hands work with us. And finally, they understand, you know, giving money and direct giving it is not as easy as you might think. So when we got the call that they were putting that link for us, Linda and I were doing happy dances.
That's awesome.
We're so excited. So thank you all so much. Keep on sharing, and we'll see you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys. We'll see you next